Well, gather around, folks. Today, we're diving into the world of Good Friday and scapegoating. But before we do, let me share a little joke with you. Why did the scapegoat get invited to the Good Friday dinner? Because it promised not to pass the buck. Now, onto our main event. Just recently, an author over at Unheard penned a fascinating piece about attending a Good Friday service after years of being an agnostic. Talk about a spiritual plot twist. But what really caught my attention was how they delved into René Girard's theory of mimetic desire and its relevance to scapegoating. In simple terms, Girard's theory suggests that our desires are not original, but copied from others. And this leads to conflict and eventually scapegoating. Now, isn't that a thought to chew on? We're not just talking about passing the buck, but copying the desire to pass the buck. It's like a game of hot potato, but the potato is blame and nobody wants to be the one holding it when the music stops. But it's not just spiritual and philosophical discussions where scapegoating is making headlines. Remember our friends over at Signature Bank? Well, they've been accused of being the scapegoats of the Federal Reserve's policies. Critics have been quick to blame the Fed's interest rate hikes for the instability in the banking sector. Talk about passing the economic hot potato. The connection between Good Friday, scapegoating, and current events might seem as tricky to navigate as a goat on a tightrope. But it's there. From the crucifixion of Christ to the closing of a bank catering to the crypto industry, the theme of scapegoating is as alive today as it was 2,000 years ago. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? The next time you're in a situation where blame is being tossed around like a salad at a vegan convention, remember the scapegoat at the Good Friday dinner. Don't just pass the buck, and definitely don't copy the desire to pass the buck. Instead, why not break the cycle? Be the one to say, hey, how about we solve the problem instead of blaming each other?
And as we wrap up, remember this, folks, the world is full of scapegoats, but it's also full of opportunities to buck the trend. So go out there and make your mark. Just make sure it's not a hoof print. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a game of hot potato to lose.